Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with a familiar face, if you've been around this industry for a while, as I have, Steve Gorga, who is the Executive Vice President of P. Jason King Associates, Inc. And Steve, of course, is a veteran travel executive. He's been around. He's worked at American Express. He's worked at Travel Impressions, Sabre. We'll talk a little bit about that. But now he's part of P. Jason King Associates, and he and Jason have launched a new service that may be of particular interest to a lot of you out there. We're going to talk to him about that and a lot more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, Steve, how are you? Where are you? I think you're still out in Long Island somewhere, right?
Well, I'm great, James. Thanks for asking. And I'm also glad you're doing well, too. I know you've had some issues over the past several months, and I'm really glad to see you up and running again.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and thank you for the opportunity of chatting. I really appreciate it. We've known each other a long time, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Now,
right now, literally, I'm up at Stony Point, New York. It's my son's house, which is right south of Bear Mountain. But I do live on Long Island still, and I'm very, very, very busy with a new role with P. Jason King Associates, and it's Executive Vice President. And we're really charged up with what we're doing. I think we're doing a few things that are really timely for the industry and something that I feel is important for our travel agents.
Well, let's talk about that now. It's a new service. You're offering business consulting services to travel agencies. Can you tell us a little bit about that service, what it's called, and what it offers?
That's correct. So right now, especially with COVID, we think there's a lot of travel agents who are seriously considering changes in their business, be it either selling their business, going out of taking the business down, or buying and acquiring businesses. So we started a division called TravelMatchmakers.com. Mm-hmm. So on TravelMatchmakers.com, what we do is introduce travel agents who are interested in buying or interested in selling. And there's a lot of different combinations of we're finding travel agents. Many of them are interested in selling and creating situations where new ownership allows them to stay with the company for years going on with their team in place. There are some situations where agents just want to get out of the business entirely. And there are situations where agents just need some funding to continue their lives. So we're finding everything, James, and we're finding right now a lot of interest in buyers. And buyers feel it's a good time to buy. Obviously, the cost of acquisition is going to be less than it was during our greatest year, let's say, of 2019 and 2018. So for those that are in a really good place and have some money or ability to drive investment dollars, they're looking to buy. So having some great discussions with some really interested parties.
Yeah, and now you actually have another something where you call it the COVID Crisis Recovery Plan, which is actually you go to individual agencies and offer them consulting services. That's right?
That's correct. And what we found, it really is an outgrowth of TravelMatchmakers.com. So we found there also were a lot of agencies who really wanted to stick with the business, and they've been through a lot over the last 20 years, 25 years, They've been faced with lots of different challenges, and they see this as a time to really look internally at how they're doing and to try to come out of this situation with COVID stronger than when they went in. Mm-hmm. So through our background, Jason and mine, we've had a lot of experience in working with travel agencies, me more from running companies and doing some consulting, and Jason from a heavy involvement in his recruitment business and his consultancy business. We have a lot of experience in helping to develop and grow companies. And that's what it's all about, really, right, is to grow their companies. So we do believe, James, when you think of the situation we're in, I personally believe that there's going to be a lot of agencies who decide to close their doors.
Right.
And what that means, there's going to be a lot of consumers who are going to be looking for travel agents to take care of their business. So I think there's going to be a need for travel agents to be ready to take on new consumers to help with their travel needs, because I think after this whole situation that we're in, consumers are going to be more aware of the importance of a travel agency and how they can help them, especially in difficult conditions. So we're here to help them do that as well, to be ready to set up their organization in a manner that will allow them to grow more easily and to take on more customers easily.
Yeah. Now, is there any particular size of travel agency you're focused on helping in this case? Large, small, or basically anybody can come to you and get your consulting services?
Well, we've had discussions with all sorts, as you can imagine. We've had a lot of leisure discussions, corporate travel agencies, smaller and large. And we've really built the program around more of the smaller to mid-sized travel agencies. So the $1 million to $5, $10, $20 million agency. We've also talked to several $50 million agencies. But it's the smaller guys that really probably don't have the resources or the wherewithal to go outside and get consulting service, because consulting can cost a lot of money. We'll talk a little bit about that later.
Yeah.
But we're very conscious of the fact of trying to bring out a service and a product to help travel agents succeed, but with a price point that's not exorbitant. I mean, we know this industry very well, and this is not the time travel agents want to spend $50, $60, $80, $100,000 on a consultant. And some consultants out there, as you know, I'm sure, are $1,500, $2,000 a day, and there's a creep in price. They price per day spent on a project, and all of a sudden you could think that you've got a project that's going to cost $5,000, $10,000, and because of what I call price and a project creep, all of a sudden you've got a $25,000 project on your hands. And we want to make sure, working with us, that doesn't happen.
Well, and in fact, that's what I was going to ask you about, is how your fee structure does work, because it's trying to be more affordable, and it's giving agencies the ability to buy sort of your individual services or package services from you, both of those, right?
That's right. And it's based on the size of the agency. And we use as a baseline the number of agents in the agency. So if it's an agency with 5 people, 10 people, 50, 100 people, outside agents, there's a price point that we utilize. And you can find out what that price is by going into our websites, be it travelrecovery.org, or TravelMatchmakers.com. And you'll see very reasonable pricing. And a real key point of this also is we give a free consultation. So there's no problem taking a look at it and say, gee, that looks interesting. Let's give them a call. Let's see to what extent it sounds interesting to pursue. At absolutely no cost, we'll chat with the agency and let them know what we think we can do for them. We'll listen very carefully to what their interests are and try to develop a program that'll help them at an affordable price. We really feel, James, it's a bit of what I call and Jason calls giving back to the industry, right? They've been very good to us in my career and to Jason's career, and I think a lot of travel agents could use a little hand right now. And hopefully through the experience of years and years of working with me and years of working with Jason, they trust us and know that we can provide some added value for them.
Well, you have a list of services that are pretty comprehensive, from marketing, advertising and PR, supplier evaluation, product review, customer acquisition and customer retention, customer service, employee review, and recommendations. I mean, you seem to have it all there, right?
We do, and we try to, we don't have it all. I don't want to say that, because what we did is we stuck with what we feel good at. We're not going to go out and outsource and hire up other consultants to supplement our work. We decided, what can we do ourselves based on our knowledge base of the community, of the agency business of today, and what we know about the industry. So we picked those things that we thought were most likely able to have significant impact on their business, that we could provide at an affordable cost, doing it ourselves, and with some help internally in Jason's office and his business. But it wasn't something we took on to start hiring high-priced consultants to supplement what we can do. And most of it revolves around, when you think of our business, and I say our business, the travel agency business, we don't have, quote, machinery per se. We may have the GDS systems and some computers. Our biggest asset is our customer. So much of what you see of our offering revolves around either the customer directly, meaning customer acquisition, how do we get new customers, how do we retain customers, how happy are our customers, as well as the products that we're providing to our customers. So we have a total a segment of product review. What type of products are we offering our customers? Do we have the right breadth and depth of product to handle all of our customers? Do we have the right breadth and depth of product to handle groups and family and adults only within our preferred partner category? Are we too dispersed? Do we have a good handle on the travel agency business consolidating their business on a few suppliers? Because, in our business, everybody knows volume determines commission rates. The more volume you give a customer, the more important you are to them, and the more they're going to derive from a supplier handling their business. We also are going to help them with making sure they have clear paths of escalation process within suppliers. Often in a situation when there are troubles, and in our business, there's always a time where you may need help beyond the normal day-to-day needs. We want to make sure the travel agent knows how to get to the right person that will say yes and not explain why they cannot do things. And obviously in my corporate life, where I have very much been focused on service, that's been a key part of what's important to me, is how do you fix problems when you have them? Who do you get to? Who knows whom? So that you can get your customers taken care of in a manner which is acceptable to your customer. Now,
in terms of how you've already mentioned this, but you think right now, during this current global pandemic, the crisis, this is the right time for travel agencies to sort of completely reevaluate and reimagine themselves?
I think those words are a little overdone. Completely reimagine themselves and reinvent themselves. That's not our intention. Mm-hmm. Our intention is to help them streamline their business, look inside, and find ways that they can provide better service for their customer, mm-hmm. and to grow their business and increase their revenues, increase profitability. In my career, I've always, if people say our revenues are, we generated $10 million in revenue. Well, there's all different types of revenue. Some revenue has a 5% margin, mm-hmm. and some has a 1% margin, some has a 10% margin. So it's not just the revenues that you're driving, it's the profitability of your margin. There's good revenue and bad revenue.
Right.
So this is a time, that's where I talk about looking inwardly and really trying to figure out what type of revenue you're attracting and to what extent is it profitable for your business. You can spend an awful lot of time and energy driving revenues which are barely profitable, versus you can spend perhaps a lot less time on products and suppliers that the revenue will drive a higher degree of profitability. Now, a lot of that is dependent on who their preferred partners are, be it they're working with a consortia or on their own, or a lot of them have a mix of their own suppliers and their own partners that they work with a consortia. But to really step back and take a look at how that operates. So I say it's a good time, James, because just think of what we've been through. 2019, for the most part, was going to be the most successful year for most in the travel industry. Well, what that means is we've been so busy taking care of the business. It was coming in wild and crazy, and it was so busy, you didn't have a lot of time to step back and perhaps look at the quality of the handling of the business that we were doing. And I've just learned through my career, most important thing is, especially in a business that does not have assets per se, but your asset is your customer, you need to be all over your customer and your customer satisfaction. Mm-hmm. And from some very easy tools that I've learned, you can measure your customer satisfaction on an ongoing basis to make sure that those customers will keep coming back to you time and time again. You don't want to lose them once you get them. And you want to make sure that you capture their travel at all major events in their lifetime. So you need to have good records of birthdays and wedding anniversaries and reunions and family reunions, etc., to help them achieve incremental revenues during the lifetime of that customer.
Sure, absolutely.
And lastly, what's most important, I think we all know this, but this is really important. You're not going to have happy customers if you don't have happy employees. There's no question. If your employees do not enjoy working with the company and they just feel it's a job and they're picking up a paycheck, those customers are going to feel that from the employees. So it's really important to take a pulse on the employee side of the company as well, to make sure that your employees like and enjoy the job. They feel they're being treated well by management and the company they're in, because those happy employees, well, I always say, there's a line I always say, our employees, and I have felt strongly that mine and most of the companies I've worked for or led, do the right thing at the right time when nobody's looking.
Yeah.
And that's a gift. That's a gift. You can't teach that. That comes from the heart. And they have to feel it to do the right thing at the right time when nobody's looking. Well, if they think you're treating them well and you're treating them right in the business with respect and dignity, and that costs nothing, respect and dignity, right? They're going to do everything in their power to take care of your customer to the best of their ability. And therefore, the customer will keep coming back again and again. But you got to have some type of metrics to back it up to be comfortable that that's what's happening in your company.
Yeah, well, of course, right now revenues have pretty much dried up for a lot of travel agencies, and a lot of them, have turned to government relief, at least to get through the end of the year. And what do you think travel agencies? Obviously, revenues would be nice right now, but what do you think they need right now the most? What should they be focused on? You mentioned this relationship with the customer is certainly a major thing. What would you recommend overall?
Well, several things. Okay, certainly the customer, put that aside for a minute, but their mindset, it's a mindset. And when I say a mindset, you wake up in the morning thinking of this, right? So right now is the time to really learn about what destinations you're working with, what suppliers at the destinations you're working with, and what product at the destinations. And then how are the destinations handling the situation with COVID? It's very complex right now, but there's lots of resources on the websites about different rules and protocols being followed by suppliers and destinations. Well, make sure that you educate your customers about the different protocols by destination and make sure they're aware of that. You're aware of it and internally, first of all, that you're internally aware of what those protocols are and how safe it is safe. You always be careful with that word safe, right? Sure. In the travel industry, but give them the right information. So I say it's a time to really focus on learning about the destinations, the products, and the suppliers out there, what they're doing, and what type of vacation experience can be provided to your traveler. If there's additional information or testing or quarantining that they have to do, this is information that's really important for the travel advisors to really understand now more than ever.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree more. Good luck with this new consulting service. It sounds like you have a lot of great advice that you can bring to bear at a very critical time for many travel agencies, and hopefully they will look at what you have to offer and how they can benefit from your services. You've already mentioned a couple of times the websites that they can find out more information, but if you can remind us of those websites and also how they can get in touch with you if they want to talk to you about getting the services you offer. Absolutely.
So first, of course, is the website. Go to the website. It has all the information, travelrecovery.org, TravelMatchmakers.com. And then also my email is sjgorga@pjassociates.com. And Jason can be reached at info@pjkingassociates.com. And also, I always like to give my personal cell phone number out. And that may be sometimes the easiest way to reach me. It's 631-572-6395. We like to pride ourselves that we're available to the agents at any time they want to work. They want to do it confidentially at home, after hours. We're there to help them. And I think anybody who knows me in the industry knows that they could be comfortable working with me in a very discreet manner. And the same thing with Jason. And we're here to help. We are literally here to help the travel agency community get through this crisis. And I think through the programs that we've developed, I think it's hitting the target of exactly what's needed right now. And Jason and I aren't done yet at all by any means as far as what else we're going to do for the agency community. But we're having fun. We're having fun creating and developing and doing what we love the most. And that's lots of interesting, exciting work with travel agents, investors. Jason has a long history of also working with investors and private equity and angel investors. So travel agents that may not want to sell or buy or merge may just need funding themselves to help do something within the industry they think can make their companies stronger. We also have the wherewithal to do that. So you can think of us in those regards as well.
Well, Steve, it's great to see you again. I used to see you on the circuit all the time, different conferences and events all over the world, really. But now we're all at home, so it's great to see you here. And good luck with these new consulting services. And I'm sure a lot of travel agencies will benefit from what you have to offer.
Thank you. And I can't wait to be with you and all my travel agency friends out there in a real destination, having a real drink and dinner, having a good time, and marching on this industry again, as we all love. This industry, I always say to folks, this is, it's not a job. It's a lifestyle. I love the industry in the sense that it's the hospitality industry. And what does that mean? We're mostly hospitable, nice, outgoing, friendly people. And that's why we all hate leaving it. We never want to leave it. We want to stick with it. And we want to help those travel agents stick with their businesses and help them keep growing and develop themselves.
Well, absolutely. I'll go for that drink and that nice dinner somewhere at a great destination with you soon. I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.